Hello everyone, Josh here, or you may know me as Yu Hong. I'm actually doing this video for a friend who wanted to know a bit more about how I clear my domains. And I also wanted to share basically the game to everyone who's not really playing this game. But I like to share like what am I playing, so to give a little insight to the things I'm doing, to the games that I'm playing every day lah. So I'm not gonna go into too much about what Genshin is because this is mainly just for people who are playing Genshin. So before I get to it, what I'm doing here is basically clearing the ice domain here. So ice domain here, some people ask me how fast I can clear this domain, because usually I only take about like 58 seconds to clear one round. But so you only can do it about 3 times because of condensed resins. So I'll give a showcase of my team that I usually use. First is obviously Hutao. Hutao is actually a very strong character. Um, the only problem with her is that because of her E, it consumes health. So she actually can be quite squishy at times. That's why you actually need to bring in Zhongli to bring up his shield, and his shield is actually one of the strongest, 20% of his max HP plus another 2000 damage, which is actually very tanky. And then you have Xingqiu and Bennett. So Bernard actually has a very nice ulti. I actually level it up to level 8, whereby you can increase your party's attack up to 90% of his own attack. So his own attack is around 1.4k, 90%, which is about 1.2k like that. Which makes him a really strong support, and his Q also heals. So it actually helps with the team a lot lah. Plus, he's also pyro, which is good for breaking down the ice shields in this dungeon. We also have Xingqiu. Xingqiu, I leveled Xingqiu all the way to level 80. I can go one more if I want to, but I'm kind of lazy to do it. Just because I don't really like fighting the water boss. And actually he's actually good enough just as he is already. And he's C6, so you don't have to have him on C6 lah. But on C6 is actually a lot much more stronger. Needless to say, he's using a sacrificial sword. Zhongli is using deathmatch. Hutao is using deathmatch, and then Bennett is using the festering desire, which you get from story quests. So you can see that I'm not using any 5-star weapons at all. I'm running artifacts that are 5 stars. Noblesse on Xingqiu, full Noblesse, full Noblesse on Zhongli, and the fire one on Bennett. But you can see that I'm not. This is not the most optimized build ever lah. Because the two overlaps here, they don't stack. As in the Q, they don't. The 4-piece bonus, they don't stack. Yeah, see, this effect cannot stack. So it doesn't matter if you run both of it. It's actually better to run like maybe one water hybrid and one noblesse, or basically the new artifact with noblesse, cause the effect just doesn't stack. But the reason why I'm running both noblesse is because it's just easier. I'm very lazy to switch out all the artifacts. Okay, so Hutao is running the Witch of Flames, and you can see her stats. The reason why I'm using deathmatch is because of the crit rate, and I can have like 84% crit rate and 150 crit damage. Actually, of course, it's not the most maximized damage you can actually have on Hutao lah. Hutao can go much more better than this. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't have Staff of Homa. Staff of Homa was a very rare banner weapon that was something that I missed, so I did not manage to get it when it was out. Yeah, so you can see here that Hutao, her damage is okay. is not the maximum one. So the reason why I'm actually showing you all this is this, that you don't need really the best of everything to clear this fast. You can clear them faster, but there's really no point lah. Because what's the point of clearing them faster? You can't actually farm the whole day. Okay, so I actually advise you to actually, if you're having difficulty, like maybe you're in the between level 41 and 45 right now, I suggest you to actually cook some food, especially this delicious jade parcel that adds about 320 damage and 10% crit. So you want the 320 damage, and because 320 damage is actually a lot of damage, and it'll help you with your farming lah, with your domain farming. Also, we have a delicious moon pie, which increases the shield strength by 35 and defense by 235, which is great if you're running shields. So this is actually basically the most the best team that I have lah. But I know a lot of people, they don't have Zhongli or they don't have Hutao, so I will probably do another run without the both of them lah. But of course, the artifacts you can't replace because the artifacts are really strong. So let's start here. So first you bring in Bennett, then you bring in Zhongli, then you kill Zhongli, then you can run with Xing Qiu, which will freeze you, but it's okay. Then you bring in Hutao, then you just charge attack, and you can finish off this fella very quickly. And you can do this, bring in Zhongli again, bring up the shield, bring in Hutao again, go, charge attack, charge attack. I think you can do this faster with Ganyu or something like that. You probably can even do this faster with Chao. I saw Chao or Tatagalia can one-shot this big fella. Yeah, so I didn't really see what was the timing there, but I think it was less than 1 minute. Yeah, okay, so I'm not going to use my condensed resin, I'm going to just use my origin because I'm going to do multiple runs. I'm actually looking for a crit rate helm for my Tatagalia. Nope, no luck there. Okay, continue challenge. Actually, I need to leave. Yeah, so I have to actually change up the teams a bit. Now, whatever team you use, the artifacts, they have to be good, because in the end, it's the artifacts that makes the team great. And if you are still farming for your artifacts, I suggest that you are use the food, whatever food you can have, whatever food you can use food to actually supplement for the basically the power gap between the bad artifacts and good artifacts. Yeah, so if you don't, the weapons are really important. I can't really emphasize more on that fact. It's because weapons are the one that gives you the crit rate or gives you the high percentage. Basically, the substat of a weapon is the substat of a whole artifact. So it's very important to get a very good weapon. So it's like deathmatch is actually one of the best because deathmatch has one of the highest crit rate substat in the game. Yeah, it's like 40 plus percent or 33%, which is really high compared to the other weapons in the game. Even like Jade Spear, the maximum it goes up to is just like 23%, but Deathmatch has about 33%, which is very high. Yeah, I'm the sort of person who actually likes crit rate. I just like to see the thing basically flash out big numbers, even if the numbers are not really that big. Okay, so I'm gonna do a bit of switch up here. You can see this is my roster. Yeah, so I haven't built really. In the future, I might, if I have a bit more time, I'll probably build Yanfei or build Xing Yan because I'm quite interested in the outs. Yanfei is one of those characters where you can just auto click, right click, and then charge attack. She's actually one of the better fire 4 stars compared to Xiangling and what's his name, Bennett. Yeah, so she is actually more of a fire main DPS rather than these other two, which can't do fire the main DPS. So I'm gonna do a bit of switch up a bit. I'm gonna bring Diona instead of Zhongli, and then I'm gonna bring out another fire DPS, which I don't have, so maybe not. Okay, so let's say this is your team now. Basically, usually you can just use Bennett to break down the shoes. So I'll show you how Bennett does it. But let's say DPS, main DPS, non 5-star DPS. What will I use? This might be surprising to you. I'll actually just use Chongyun. Chongyun has a very high burst damage. He's not one of the greatest characters, I must say, because his whole kit is based around his E and his Q, which is a lot better than most characters. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of an artifact switch here. Again, you can see he's not really running anything great. My Diona is in the same team, but too bad I have to confiscate all her cryo set basically to actually accommodate my Chongyun here. So weapon, once again I have a 5-star weapon. There's actually no good 4-star weapon except for this, which I just recently got. I haven't actually started building it yet, but just for the sake of most people, I'm gonna switch it up to the prototype. And then Diona, her artifacts, I'm gonna switch it back into who is it? I'm gonna switch it into Noblesse. Yeah. And I actually have I used to have now I don't HP cup, but now I don't. I'm just gonna use this gladiator. And of course we have the feather will be Noblesse as well. I'm just gonna borrow this from Sing Chu. Okay, so you can see Diona's stats are not great. 24k health, and her crit rate is not that great. Her energy recharge is pretty good. Again, her weapon is her weapon is actually very decent hunt. But for actually it doesn't really matter what you have on her. Because it doesn't really build up to a shield, but because it's a cryo dungeon and her shield has a 250 bonus to protect against cryo, so it's actually good to have her in your team. In this specific dungeon. So it's actually good to bring in Diona with a very decent hunt, which has about 25% crit rate, so you can see the big numbers and feel shook about it. You see the attributes. 62% crit rate with 50% damage. So you're not usually using her to do any damage. But what I really use her for is actually mainly basically for her shield. So you can see her talent's Ice Paw is at level 8, and she's not at Constellation 6, she's just Constellation 2, where her shield does absorb a bit better. But it's actually if you have her on C6 is actually very good, because her talent that goes up to 15, her absorption, right, her shield will go up to 20% instead of 11%. Yeah, nearly 20% at level 15. So it's actually her shields actually can be quite thick as long as you have her at C6 and you max out her shields. But even if you don't, in this dungeon specifically, it's actually not bad because her damage does protect from cryo quite a bit. Okay, so another thing is I'm gonna switch out Sing Chu and I'm gonna put in Xiangling. The reason is obviously because again, Sing Chu is actually great anywhere. Even if my team was currently what it is with Chongyun, I still can perma freeze the enemy with that. But I'm gonna bring in Xiangling just to break down the shields a bit faster. I'm gonna have to borrow Hutao's equipment here. And yeah, so it makes a big difference whether you have good artifacts or not. And if you don't, please farm and use your food as much as you can. Okay, so weapon wise, again I'm gonna switch it to deathmatch. Okay, so it's going to be a bit slower. It's not going to be 1 minute, less than 1 minute. Just simply because we're not doing great with the artifact wise lah. So I'm gonna switch out the. No, I'm not gonna switch out. So it's at 90 crit. So I do not have another crit damage helm that is good. So I'll probably be farming that a bit later. But I am aiming to farm a crit damage helm for Pyro. Again, you can see her details. Her talents are not exactly maxed out or anything like that. It's really half done. So yeah, but her friendship is at level 10 because I use her so much. It's the same with Bennett. Bennett's friendship is level 10 because I'm just using the both of them so much before I even got Hutao. Chongyun, however, is not at level 10. He's at level 5. I just recently just started building him. Yeah, so yeah, Diona as well. I only just started using her. Her friendship is only at level 7, so she's not that much frequently used. So let's again go in. Let's see if we can do this dungeon under a minute. Now, if you have other characters, it's okay. You just go in with other characters, but mainly the whole idea of breaking down the shields here is to have elemental reactions. So preferably something with fire, so that the shields will break down faster. So you can see here, right? Because I don't have Hutao, I can't basically ooh, ouch. Okay, we gotta try that again. So you can see without Zhongli, you're basically getting smashed to bits. Okay, let's try that again. Again, like I said, without Zhongli or any 5-star characters, it's a bit hard, especially using Chongyun, when the both of them have a bit of a cryo resistance here. So again, start off this, Q, Bennett, Xianglin, Q, Bennett, up with this. Bennett's cooldown on his E is very fast. Maybe not such a great idea, I just realized, to run Chongyun, because both of them have actually a cryo resistance. So I'm gonna just run Bennett here. Oh, Diona's shield is not up yet, so I'm gonna just be a bit more careful here. I'm gonna do a bit of runs until the shield is up. Here we go. Again, Q down. E. Bennett carrying the team here. Q in. Chongyun. Yeah, not that great idea to run Chongyun. Okay, now I'm realizing that. There you can see the 20k non-crit on Bennett. And Diona in again. Chongyun basically useless here. I wonder why. His damage is very low. I think it's because they have resistance to cryo. That's why it's not great here. Okay, there you go. That was about 1.5 minutes. So that was a bad idea to bring in Chongyun basically. So not a great example. Okay, so I'm gonna try again without Chongyun this time. But I didn't really build anyone else other than 4-star Chongyun. Okay, again, still useless. Okay, so no Chongyun, because Chongyun is not doing well here. Let's run another guy. Let's run Razor. Okay, so Razor is more of a physical character, so you will run physical damage on him. And I just happen to have a critical set which I use on Kating. Yeah, so wait a minute. Let's see if we can get a good crit rate helm. Okay, so this is the only crit rate helm I have. And it's not under pyro, so I'm gonna just run this crit damage helm as well as a physical cup with gladiator set. Right, Kating's gladiator set. So you can see here is running. He's gonna be running again the prototype. And let's see his stats right now. 30% crit, not great. 30% crit damage. So I might want to switch out that a bit from crit rate. From a crit damage to a crit rate helm. So this is gonna make me suffer greatly. Yeah, so I will lose quite a bit of damage here. So again, not the best setup here, but we're gonna see how this do in this matchup. Again, the carry is actually basically Bennett, Diona, Xiangling, all the support characters, not the main DPS. But if you have a great main DPS that's not a 5 stars, like Yanfei for example, and Ningguang is good too. I would suggest you to run them instead of Razor here. And Razor is a bit hard to build because it's a Claymore character. Claymore characters do not have great crit rate weapons, except for the BP one. Even the BP one is not that great. Okay, so let's see if we can do this better than the last one. So our goal here is to basically do it under 1 minute. No, under 1.5 minutes. Okay, again, food up. Okay, when it starts, usually you would want right now, because I don't have my Hutao, so things are a bit slower. And you can go Razor. I can't go wheel like just now, simply because I do not have a tanky shield like Zhongli's, so I can't go ham on it. Yeah, see, Bennett is still the one carrying the team here, other than Razor. Simply because I do not have a good shield. I hate to be the pay to win person that's complaining about this, but it's very clear difference whether you have a shield or not. You might want to go range instead of a melee here. Next time maybe I will build a Yanfei just to see if I can do this faster with her. Because Razor is really not doing the job, you can see that. So how long was that? 1 minute 54 seconds. Yeah, so it's around 2 minutes if you do not have a really strong team. Like Hutao, because Hutao is really strong. Okay, so again, no, I didn't drop anything that I need, which is a crit rate helm for my Tartaglia. Yeah, so that's it. So if you got a good main DPS that's 4 stars, and you have the set that's ready for them. Unlike my Razor is not properly built. His talents are not even near level 10. His talents are at level 5, level 6. That's why you can see the damage difference is so much bigger. But if you have a DPS that you build up properly, Usually you can hit the amount of damage that not exactly at Hutao's level, because there's always a big difference between 5 stars and 4 stars. You can't hit the same thing. But if you do want to hit the same thing, then you better have a good weapon and good set, which obviously my Razor do not have. That's why there's always this disparity between free-to-play players and pay-to-win players. People who play the game. You get what you paid for, basically. You get a BP, it makes your life a bit easier. You don't get a BP, your life is just that much harder. But if you do have a good weapon and you're lucky on drawing that weapon, I'll suggest you to just build on a weapon. Okay, so that's all for this video. If you've got any more questions, you can just PM me, you can just WhatsApp me or whatever. Okay, see you, bye bye.